Well, today I've got somewhat of a different picture. I'm going to do a little sketch of my view from my window onto my garden. Can you see this? Look at all those lovely colours. These plants, this lily. I'm not sure what that is. It's from New Zealand, I think, that plant. I've forgotten what it is. Gardeners, all you gardeners out there can tell me what it is. But there's just lovely acidy green, bright green there with a bit of yellow. And if I zoom up, look at some of the colours on those leaves. So can I get that? I've got a few challenges there. I shall miss this out, of course. It doesn't really add anything to the picture. And try, oh, and here, can you see here? Look at those lovely berries. Can I get this? And the pond in there. And the shape of these trees here and a few conifers. Or these are Italian conifers. A little bit of a tree in the background there. And I've got the colour here, of course, on these stones on the patio there, and that light green of that fence, and a few pots in the foreground. So I think I'm going to have a go at that. It's good to have a kind of plan as well. Not quite sure. It's so difficult with greens. You've got so many greens here. It's overwhelming. So obviously I've got to try and keep a variety of different greens, a bit yellowy there, let's say quite acidy, springy, light green there, but more, and a bit of silvery colour on that too. So it's a challenge anyway. Let's have a go anyway, see what we can do with it. So I think light wash might be the answer to get it going anyway. Yes, I think I'll do that. Just to take all the real white out of the screen, out of the grass, out of the sort of general paper. It's too. I've got to have this background. I'm going to do it in a series of washes, really. That's what we're talking about when I say put this wash in. So I'm just using a little bit from my my palette. Just wash it in. A little bit of greens. Just taking that, all that white out, but keeping it light, because that's going to be the challenge, I think. How to have it not looking like a sea of green. So we can go straight in with a little wash area of my patio there. We can put some textures in. Give me some lines of the brickwork. So just a gentle wash here again. All this is stone, little block pavers. Got some pots there, which I'll get in. So let's put a little different bit of greys in here, I think. Got some pots here which will put some terracotta. So we can keep lots of interest going. Let's get a little more umber. Vary the tone. A little darker under this. a lot of plants here which are casting shadow, so I can put these a little darker under here, and around here, I think. Let's do that. Right. This is Daler-Rowney paper, £140. Very smooth. There's not much texture in this. Now I think I'm going to just put a little wash of blue down here. Like that. Just a little bit on my palette there, because I want to show the sky and the border there. Actually, I think to give me some interest, I think I'm going to make it a bit brighter. That's some cerulean. Just dropping in there. Right. Let's leave that. Now, we've got to get in these greens, these acidy green. So they are, this plant in the foreground is quite the star of the painting, really. So I'm wondering if I should just get straight in and do some of these interesting leaves. I think we can do that. This is sort of a bit of lemony yellow, but it's got a little bit of green on it. So it is a sort of acidy green colour. I think we can put them up like this. And I've got to get their stalks in. So let's get yes, they come out a little bit here. I've got a little bit of phthalo green on my palette as well, left over from some other paintings I've done recently. So let's use a bit of that to try and make it a little bit more luminous. And there's a pond weed all around there. Right, I think I should leave that. Try to keep some of the shapes as well. They did come right up as well. But we need something in the middle as well. So using the point of my brush, but these are quite distinct leaves. Let's leave that for the moment, and I can always come back and review that. But while I've got this green, I can look for other areas. So let's vary it a little bit though by mixing with some different colours, a bit of ochre, and I think I've got to try and have a variety of different greens. That's vital, otherwise it will be very boring. So I think we've got to bite the bullet, put some other layers of colour in here, and remember often that they're often a lot darker. So I'm going to lose a little bit of ultramarine in my mix there, and I think we need to a little bit darker. That's it, I think. I think I'm going to put a bit of sap in there. Oh yes, could use a bit of that too. Yes, I think they're yes, and this comes right out to the top of the hedge here. But I want a different colour down there in a minute. So I'm getting a bit of burnt umber there in with that green. Give me a slightly different green. Yes, I think some of this has to be a great deal darker, so I'll take a bit of Payne's grey there, because this will be hidden a little light. Its sun is not getting under here, under this area, so very green there. How far does that come down? Yeah, let's just make some real dark colour there. Not too green. Let's knock it back with some blues, some ultramarine in the mix there, and a little bit of brown if it's looking just a little bit too blue. Yes, that's better. I want to give some light and dark, otherwise the plant has no kind of shape to it. Right. We better have a bit of ochre, I think, in this. It's looking a little bit. Right. Okay, let's leave that for the moment. And I want some bluey greens out here, so I'm going to use a bit of that cerulean that I've got left there and try and get some of these little conifers that are sticking out over the wall, behind the fence. My fence was going along here. Just remind myself, lost my sketch somewhat. Certainly we can see a little bit there. So let's get back to those Italian conifers there. A little bit showing here as well. A little green into them. So, again, it's perhaps you have to exaggerate the blue to push them back a bit. Quite a hedge, really. And then we could, these are also, got a tree over here. Yes, that's what we can do. Just a little bit too bluey. So it's a fine judgment to make them stand out differently without sort of the viewer drowning in a sea of green. Now I'm going to get a nice lighter green here. Just off to here, there's some bamboo. A nice bamboo hedge there. Or not hedge, it's a big old plant actually. Let's leave that there. Then I've also got a nice, I want to put round here, I've got the lawn. I've got a little lawn here. I want to keep here. That's what comes in there. Yeah, I think we can do that. Lawn coming up under there. Got a table and chair there, we'll deal with that in a minute. Now let's get this big New Zealand, is it called a euphorbia? Something like that might be it. Anybody out there can tell me. But it's sort of purpley colour actually. It's a very big, very sort of architectural. Gives a lot of form to your garden if you've got something like this. It's different colours in it too. They come out here. So I've got a mixture of colours. Lovely plant actually. Let's get a little bit more darks in here. Right, and then quite dark under the base of it. So we'll get some darks under here. Right. Some darks here in the bottom. Let's get something down there. Got to make sure your plants have got some grounding, they're not floating. There I've got a nice light blue of my fence. Let's put that in. Make a little colour there, and we can put some form into it in a little while. Put a bit of some of the panels perhaps I can show. But here, let's get this done. Oh yes, no, I've got, it was some lovely, what is dark green in areas, with my weed coming up under here, under shadow. And the moss on this curb of this brick. Get some shape to that. Let's get some more darks into the base of this. Right, let's get some of this red berried plant in. Now, how best to do this? I think it's just bite the bullet and get some red in there. It was certainly a lot of berries here. Set or overlaying some of the other plants as well. And what I can do is also change put a bit of orange in there. They were a mixture of berries though. Let's go back to that red again. We need to put some more greens in there. Try and give some form. To our plants again. Right. Okay. Now let me just thinking. Under here it's still much darker because we're not getting any sunlight. It's really in shadow. So I'm going to take some dark brown. Put under here. Let's get that darker, bit of Payne's grey, I think. Going to take it down quite a step. That brown. I don't want to use straight black, but I need some darks in here. No, I mustn't fiddle with it too much. Make a big mistake. Could emphasize this curve a bit more though. There. Give me some shadow. Right, okay, there's my fence again. Let's see if we can just suggest it a little bit. Yeah, right, now we need to get some green in here. Again, we've got to vary it. Whatever we do, we must have a variety of greens. So I've got some ochre. I'm going to vary it here. Bring these greens down. All sorts. Just select. Anything to make a variety. Got a bit of a hedge in the fence behind there as well. Again, we've got to ring those changes. This is let's say Langford, no, it's Dalaroni. Let me show you. That is £140 in weight there. Aquafine Smooth watercolour paper. So it's quite a good paper. The size, let me tell you the size though. That is 8.3 by 11.7. So it's a bit smaller than I usually paint, but I thought we'll just see how it goes. Let's get a bit of Hooker's green going. Here. Again, then we can put a bit of Iridian. Again, hopefully a slightly different colour. It's quite a bank of conifer there, so I think I should beef it up a little bit. Try and show they go out of our picture actually, that's the point really. They are forming a boundary there. Now let's have a different yellow in there. Let's go for a bit of lemon yellow. Different green there. Then mix with a different green. Yes, we need some darks now as well, otherwise we're not going to, it's going to be a bit flat, so I've gone to my brown, my umber, put something different into here. Say this is a different area, so we have a different green, just randomly try and create some different shape. I think we'll wash that in. Right, how's that looking? We've got all this, haven't we? I think I need to bring some of the greens down here. We've got some plants here, some tubs, some pots. Got a couple of tomato plants there actually, which haven't been great this year because we've not been having very good weather, that's for sure, this year. I think I'm going to bring a bit of my green out to here. So sort of weeds and edge along here, and my pond weed, which I can never seem to get rid of, try as I may. I suppose the frogs like it, don't they, and other creatures. I think I need to add a bit of dark under that far hedge. So I've got on my Payne's grey again. Let's get some ultramarine in to darken it. My green up a bit. Yes, I think we need it there. Yes. And under it, it's all dark here. Let's get some more dark in there along this ridge here. And under these, part of these conifers, they're not letting much light. And also I need to give some form to this plant here. Otherwise it's too flat, isn't it? Can you see as I put a bit of colour into it, a little darker, the colours, the shape reveals itself a bit better. But I'd like to get some silvery colours. I'm just wondering how to do that. Any thoughts on that, you painters out there? Some white, of course, and some bluey greys, but it's with watercolour you've only got certain opportunities to do those things, so quite different from oil paint or acrylic, of course, where you can just, if it's not right, well, you just go again. Let it dry or wipe it off, and you're good to go again. But not quite so simple with watercolour. Timing is everything. So every painting you do is something of an experiment. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it fails miserably. But of course you'll get the happy accident, which I've mentioned before in some videos. That is the magic of watercolour. You can certainly do that. You can, some random little stroke suddenly can make it work. I got a feeling I've lost my bamboo, haven't I? That was out here. So let's try and establish that a little bit more, because it was quite a yellowy colour actually. Now we've got to let's get our terracotta pots in. Let's have a go with some of these. That's a wall, that's the edge of the house there. I can do something with that in a minute. So we've got a number of pots here. There's various plants in. Right. Actually, with that colour, which is, I got it a bit thicker here, light red, makes a lovely colour for your pots. There, we can add a little more thicker paint into that rather wet mix I put on there, but it helps give you the variety of colour. You don't want it all uniform. So that's what you can do with watercolour, just add a little bit in when it's wet. You get sort of blood, a nice bleeding in, blends. There's a tile crease along there. Let's do that. Right. And change it again. Get some more darks in there. I've got darks under here. And I've got to try and put some lines in for this these bricks, all these pavers. Can you see that? Actually, there's I can see a bit of a fence through here as well. Let's try and do that. Give us some interest. Right. I think we need to put some a darker wash in, I think, for this patio. It's just a little too bright and glaring. So let's go with that. Blend those colours down. We're going to put some plants in these pots in a minute. But let's get, if I do with that, I can get some lines in, which help take our eye into the picture somewhat. Yes. Got to get it dark enough. Let's kill the whites in here, because this will be in shadow anyway when we put some plants in there. Right, so let's get on to put a few of those plants in. Yes, one of these. Oh yes, I need to get that pot done here. Give it a slightly different colour. From these. Some shadows under these. Make them read a bit better. Right, is that dry enough for me to put some plant in there? It's a lovely bright greeny colour, this one. Yes, we're a bit more thicker paint. Coming over like that. And then we have, there's some, just in here actually, there was some old iris plants. But let's, there was some dark greens in there as well. Right. Got a bit of that phthalo green here, set against the other colours. This. And we've got more greens here. Right. Okay, we've got to get some of these plants in, haven't we? There was some plants, I'm not sure what they were. This kind of shape though, I recall. I think I've got some here. Some iris. Yes, let's give them a crack with some bluey shapes. Certainly have some. Oop. Right. Right. Okay, let's put some texture into our lawn there. I know that was a bit of it there. Oh, I know what I had along here. I've got some lilac, is it? Lilac. Yes, let's get some purples going there. Yes, I had a bank of them, of course, I remember now. Not in my reference right now because I couldn't get them in my picture, but okay. I think I'm going to put some different colours in as well. Not necessarily in my picture, but you can do that if it makes a better picture. And one of these is a ribena. A ribena, do they call it? Not ribena. It has some sort of reddish leaves and bark to it. Some of the branches. Yes. Right. Now let's get something more into this patio. It's looking far too bright. Now let's, as I say, with this paper it's very smooth, so you don't get a lot of texture. So any texture you're going to have to put in yourself with your brush strokes. Just thinking, I think got little elements of green in that big plant there. We can take out some of those whites that we see there. Actually, what we haven't done, what I could do is bring some of the leaves towards us like this. I think I need to do that. That's it. They do come towards us as well. And occasionally got the stick right out as well. So let me think. Let's get a bigger brush in and see if we can sweep in a bit. It's a sort of slightly purpley colour actually, this patio. Bricks, there are sort of different colours. It's fairly smooth, my painting there. But what I could do, I need to get us some suggestion of the stones of the pavers. Except I've got green all over my hands because I've inadvertently got a whole lot of green on my brush, on my handle. That won't do, so it's all over me now. Never mind. Right, let's get and do some of those marks to suggest some of our individual pavers. So it comes, I'm just looking at the lines. They're coming this direction actually. Let's I'm not going to paint them all. It's just a suggestion. Trying to get some suggestion of the little bricks. I don't want to draw too much attention to those lines as well, because the perspective will look wrong. I think we'll just soften up some of them edges. They're just a little too direct there. Now the other thing is, I think I could put a much darker pot there. You can't really see what I had. Right, that'll do it for that one. We could darken some of these. And we could do with some shadows. So let's get a bit of shadow colour. Little crimson alizarin and some ultramarine. Can give me a bit of a shadowy colour. I think I need a bit more blue in that, make it a bit darker. Yes, and under here too. Right. I was thinking of putting in a table and chairs here, but I think I'm going to leave that out now. It's a little problematic to get that really in. I think we'll go in here with a dark mixture to make it read darker in this pond. Yes, that's a little bit better, isn't it? And also, of course, I can see I've not got enough dark in here. Yeah, a bit. Yes, that's a little bit better. And do we go darker for those furs? Perhaps a little under there. So they stand out a little. They were really quite dark. Right. Okay. That is going to lighten that. It's taken too much. We're looking at that too much. Now, how much do I do now? Put some different colours in there. My brick. My tile crease. Oh, I know. Why don't I put in a little few tomatoes? I definitely had some. They weren't a great success, but I've certainly had a few. So let's just have a bit of fun. Kind of suggest a few. And I grew a few different types as well. Some of them were bright red ones, and other ones were little tiny yellow ones. Let's get some orangey colour going. Oops. Need thicker paint really. And let's just hint at them there. There we go. Could use a little bit orange in that pot as well. So, how are we doing? I'm tempted to leave it the way it is now, actually. Not exactly how you wanted it to turn out, but sometimes you have to accept that you're not going to get it any better. But I've just noticed there, if I put a little darker colour into this hedge form there, it can delineate its shape a little better. So you have to stand back and squint your eyes sometimes. And I notice under here too, we could do with making this a little darker of this hedge here. Could I improve by putting a few different plant forms on this? Bit of ochre perhaps, yes, all along this curb area. Yes, we could do that. I've got some yellow ochre there and a bit of lemon yellow. Then we can add a bit of get all different greens. Main thing is interest. You've got to have some interest. Keep the viewer busy. I know we could get some different colour there. That's it. Can see that. Lots of changes. But knowing when to stop. There it is. Right, I think I'm going to leave that. If you like this picture, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel as well. So you'll be notified then when I put up another video. So hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you or hearing from you when I do another video. So thanks for watching.